Denizens of the interwebs, Grim Fury here, and it's Tuesday once again, so you know what that means. It's time for another video, and unfortunately, my Loot Crate box is not supposed to get here till the day after tomorrow, so I've got to wait until next week to do my unboxing video. So, I was all set to do my typical rant videos, but I was sitting watching the news, which I don't do very often, but I was hungry, so I decided to eat a little bit and watch some news while I was doing that before I made my video. And I saw a little news piece that was down in the tracker or the crawler, whatever they call that runs down the bottom of the screen. I looked at that and I went, what? So I decided I'm going to look it up. And even though I told myself I wouldn't do like any in the news stuff, I'm making an exception just because of what this is. And you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to actually be reading an article that I looked up just a couple minutes ago. So, like I said, I just saw this on the TV just a few minutes ago, so I looked it up. So I didn't have, time, any previous knowledge of this, so I can't just rattle it off the top of my head and not, potentially get anything wrong. So I'm going to get this just directly from the site that I looked up. So please forgive me as I'm reading this, but you'll understand why I decided to do this video on this little piece of news. All right, here we go. A semi-truck that crashed on Interstate 90, shutting down both directions of the road Friday night, was carrying, here we go, was carrying 16 2,000-pound missiles, according to a news release from Idaho State Police. The driver, Mark W. Derringer, 47, of Chickasha, Oklahoma, was cited for inattentive driving. He was not injured in the crash. At about 7:14 p.m., Derringer was driving through an eastbound Idaho Transportation Department checkpoint and accidentally drove into a hazmat containment area instead of merging back onto I-90, ISP reported. He drove to the end of the containment area and over a large snowbank. This is in Idaho, so they still got lots of snow, disabling the truck, according to the news release. Fairchild Air Force Base assisted emergency personnel by sending 3 explosive ordnance disposal technicians to the scene, although the semi-truck involved did not have a direct relationship with the base. Multiple attempts to contact Fairchild for more information went unanswered Saturday. I-90 was closed for about 2 hours. Okay. Can you see why I decided I have got to talk about this? All right. Now, I'm not a truck driver. And all I say is thank God for you people out there that drive trucks. There is so much stuff we would not have access to if it weren't for you guys. I mean, I know that everything that comes to our store comes by semi-trucks. So if it wasn't for you drivers that work ungodly hours and drive all over the place, go probably weeks, months without seeing your family, friends, and loved ones, God bless you. I mean, I have the utmost respect for you. But I'm sure that most of you are going to have somewhat of an idea of what you're carrying. Maybe not specifically, because it's going to be a lot of stuff. Like, for example, when we get one of our trucks, they the driver will call our store and say, yeah, this is so-and-so with your meat and produce truck. Okay, that lets you know that it is, our meat and our produce. Doesn't know the specifics, doesn't know what type of fruits and vegetables he's carrying, doesn't know exactly what cuts of meat or, what animal, but he knows it's meat and produce. So I'm sure that probably most, if not all, truck drivers have a general idea of what they're carrying. I'm sure they have a manifest. So with this in mind, imagine that you're this truck driver, this guy from Chickasha, and you get in your truck, whether it's I don't know if it's his truck or he's driving it for a company or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. You're getting your truck, whether you're watching it, even just say he didn't even watch it, get loaded. And he gets his manifest and he looks at it and it says that he's carrying 16 2,000-pound missiles. For one thing, I'm going to be like, what? This is, what? I'm carrying, what's in there now? This is a joke, right? This is a joke. I would be nervous as hell. For one thing, I did not think that missiles were shipped by semi-truck. I thought that at the very least, all the stuff was like that was shipped by military vehicles. I guess I'm wrong. But okay. He knows. I'm sure they're going to tell him, like, hey, you might want to be a little bit, extra careful driving, this load. You're carrying, 32,000 pounds worth of boom. I mean, they didn't specify what kind of missiles, but I really don't think it matters, Anyways, you're the driver, and it didn't say in this, but he got cited for inattentive driving. Why would you do this? I mean, it's a bad idea anyways to be texting or talking on the phone or just doing something when you're driving a normal vehicle. It's a bad idea. I personally had a friend of mine several years ago that was killed because someone was paying attention to their phone and not what they were doing, and when they made a left-hand turn, instead of pulling far enough to go into the proper lane, he cut short and pulled into incoming traffic and hit her head on and killed her. Okay? So, not paying attention to what you're doing is a bad idea. All right? We all know this. And yet there's still so many people out there that do it. But with that aside, knowing that you're carrying missiles behind you in a trailer, why would you do anything that could even possibly cause you to have an accident? I mean, I would pull over after hitting a chuck hole or pothole. Going in there checking, is everything okay? Is everything okay? I'd be going over there, you're okay, right? Right? Okay? Okay. Good. Nice. Close the doors back up, Get back in there. And then go further. The last thing I would do is do anything that would take my eyes off the road while I'm moving. Granted, thank heavens, his accident wasn't severe. He didn't flip it, or well, I don't think you can actually flip a semi trailer. God forbid if you can, but he didn't, flip it over, tip it over. He didn't crash into another vehicle or into a building or some heavy structure. Something to where his load became, well, unstable, got knocked around, or whatever. But I'm picturing in my head like a fistful of bottle rockets. You just light them all and just drop them into a big bottle, and they all light at once. They all go, in like 16 different directions. That's what I pictured in my head shortly after I read this. And it boggles the mind. I mean, he should have got more than just a ticket for inattentive driving. There should be a ticket you can get out for just generalized stupidity. I mean, it's just like if you were carrying a shipment of nitroglycerin and you thought to yourself, you know what? I could save myself 4 hours of driving time if I took some of these back roads, the ones that aren't paved and have all the dips, and the potholes in it. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but I'll save myself 4 hours. Yeah, we'll know exactly where you stop, where that big crater is in the middle of the road. Oh, I mean, I'm still just, dumbfounded. Absolutely dumbfounded. I mean, I don't know if truck drivers stand and watch while their truck's being loaded. I would imagine that'd be kind of boring unless you know ahead of time what you're going to be carrying. Because if I was that truck driver and I knew ahead of time, guess what? They're going to be loading my trailer with missiles. I'm going to want to watch that shit. Just because how often does anybody get to see an actual missile up close? You see them on TV and the movies and stuff. They may be, close to realistic. They may be completely realistic. Depends on what you're watching. But how many of us can actually say, I have seen a real live missile up close? Unless you're in the military, I would say very few. So I know I would be standing there just either going, wow, or just going, my sphincter is going to be like the whole trip. And yet he isn't paying attention to what he's doing. They don't say what he was doing, but inattentive driving, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and saying he was doing something on his phone. And he drives it into a hazmat area. Really? Like you ain't got hazmat stuff behind you. You've got missiles, for Christ's sake. And you drive it into a hazmat, what does it say? Hazmat containment area? Isn't that what it said? Let me see. Let me double check. I want to double check. Yes, into a hazmat containment area. So that probably meant that there was probably some hazardous material stuff there, hence containment area. So he could have run in and, I don't know, knocked over, broke open some kind of containers that were containing the hazardous materials. I mean, this was a recipe for all kinds of a mess. Luckily, all it did was, shut down the interstate for like 2 hours? All I can say is, people, don't, you know, don't be messing with your phone or anything else while you're driving. I don't care what you're driving, if you're hauling anything or not. You could be driving a Prius, you could be driving one of those semi-trucks that pull 3 trailers. You don't see those around here really, but up like in Oregon and stuff, it's commonplace. Don't be doing anything to take your eyes off the road. If you have to make a call or you have to get on your phone, pull over, throw your hazard lights on, throw it in park, possibly even turn the engine off. Then do it. Don't do it while you're driving. Like I said, I had a friend that was killed because somebody was doing this. And here's, some guy that, crashed, luckily not very badly, but crashed a semi-truck with missiles in the back. People, I'm telling you, it takes all kinds. But anyways, that's going to be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this little deviation from my normal videos. But like I said, when I saw that on the bottom of the TV screen, I'm like, I'm doing that instead of my normal rant. Because this is something that I'm not the only one that's got to be enjoying this. I've got to share this with everybody. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it, at the very least made you scratch your head, if not laugh, and just picture missiles going everywhere. And him sitting there going, oops. Oh. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Just smash the heck out of that little like button. Share the heck out of it. Get this out as much as we possibly can so more and more people can enjoy my craziness. And, if you would like to support me on a more personal level, please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Grimfury. I will leave the information for that down in the description below. And it would mean a lot to me for any help, any type of support like that I can possibly get. I'm very, very slowly buying stuff to get me a new PC. I'll have a friend of mine offered to build it once I get all the stuff. I've got one part ordered, just the case, so I've got a long ways to go. So that way I can start doing, more stuff. I won't, be able to start doing certain games on Twitch and, just various different things. And I need a better computer to be able to do that. So, any support, even if it's just your likes and your shares and your subscribes and your comments, that keeps me going week after week. And I love you guys so much for being here with me. It's been like probably about a year since I started doing this, and I'm going to keep going. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope you'll be here for with me next week, where I should have my unboxing video. It should be my first Loot Crate box, since I canceled my subscription with Loot Anime, and I'm just doing Loot Crate. I should get another Loot Anime box. I'm not positive. I'll find out eventually. I guess, if I don't get a Loot Anime box by the end of this month, then I'm going to call it a no. So, anyways, until then, please join me next Tuesday for another video, which, like I said, should be my Loot Crate unboxing, my first one for my subscription. And we can see what kind of good stuff we've got in there, because I know I'm excited. because, like I said, I've never subscribed to actual Loot Crate before, and I know that's all different kinds of goodies in there. So I'm really looking forward to starting to do this and open these boxes with all of you each and every month when I get them in. So be ready. Next Tuesday, we're going to get it done. So thank you again for joining me. Have a great day. I really hope you had a good time. And I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. And keep your eyes on the road. Take care, everyone. I love you. Toodles!
Missiles.